This week, Israel marks 43 years since one of the deadliest wars in this nation's history, the Yom-Kippur-war. The Israeli military wasn't ready, and the IDF was ambushed in a surprising attack by several Arab countries, both in the north and the south. Today, we're honored to host in our studios a legendary commander of the 77th Armored Battalion, who received the highest Israeli military decoration, the Medal of Valor, retired Brigadier General Avigdor Kahalani. Thanks so much for coming in.
You're welcome.
So, to begin, when this war took place, the Israeli defense system was in total shock. How did you deal with this existential crisis, this threat, on the spot?
I tell you, the famous picture from '67 war was hundreds shoes on the dune. They ran away from us, they threw away the rifles, and they ran away to the beach. And this picture, this may be the reason of the '73 war, because our leaders they had to start mobilization at that time, and they didn't do it because of this picture. They thought we strong enough. And what after the war, it was a big shock in our country, because first they start the war, and it was their initiative. Another thing, we lost 2,656 soldiers and more than 7,000 people badly wounded. And it was a shock all over the country. And we asked so many questions. We had many new cemeteries in the country. We didn't know who were located in this war. Nobody had a contract with his family far away, but it was a big success. But the feeling on the street, it's like a big cemetery, and we ask so many questions. This is the reason it's a shock. And I believe if the war was in '74 or '75, the result was worse.
Now, you specifically were faced with a battle unlike any other, but you managed to win. How did this happen?
After '67, I was a year in the hospital. Until now, 17 operation. Formally, I'm a disabled person, and I've decided to go back to the tank. And now we fought in the Golan Heights. I was battalion commander, like you mentioned. And the ratio between them and us was 1 Israeli tank against 10 Syrian tanks. And we fought again and again and again, and I lost most of my soldiers. Even I lost my brother during the wars, and my wife, she lost the second brother of her during the wars. For me, it was like a big exam if I can carry with me what I have post-trauma from '67, and I can be a leader and commander during the hard combat with this kind of ratio. The war was terrible, but what's important is we stopped 35 kilometers from Damascus, and the threat was in the capital of Syria. And this is the result of this war. But the feeling inside is why? What has happened to us? The shoes on the dune. This changed our mind, and this is the reason we didn't start mobilization.
Now, like you said before, you had some very personal losses in this war, your brother, and from what I understand, also your nephew. And you didn't know about any of this until you had finished your last battle.
No, I didn't know, because my deputy was badly wounded, and I was commander near the Damascus. I had another brother in my battalion, and I didn't know that they sent him back to the parents' house, and I didn't know that. Even when we finished the war, they called me and said, my commander, Janusz Bengal, he said, go home. I said, why? He said, your brother, that he got married 10 days before, he was in the middle of honeymoon. His name was Emmanuel. He joined me when he joined to the Armor Corps to be tank commander, and he was killed. And I asked, which about my second brother, that he's my battalion. And I didn't know that he's already 7 days at home. And after that, of course, they gave me the information about the brother of my wife and everything. It's hard. It's hard. It's very hard. And you know, after a month, 2 months, I had to go back home and to serve close to the area, not in the Syria anymore, because I saw what happened to my family. It's almost I lost them because you know they were that time. It was so hard. It was hard to leave my battalion because my people, they fought for me because I ordered them to go this way and this way.
Yeah, it's like you have two families.
Yeah. And to make the decision to go back home, for me, it was really a trauma.
Now, as a commander of the 77th Armored Battalion, you fought in the Golan Heights, which is, you know, obviously a highly contested area to today. And nowadays, you arrange special tours for young people in that area. Can you tell us what drew you to do that? Why do you do that?
I tell you, I'm worried about the future of our country. I'm worried about the motivation of the youth. I'm asking myself what I can do for the future of the country. I was in the Knesset member, I was in the government, I was Minister of Public Security. But now I thought about which kind of motivation I can bring from myself to the young generation. And there are two, 3 ways. One way, this is what we are talking about, to bring the youth to the Golan Heights for one day, more than 1,000 buses, 40,000 kids, and to describe what happened in the Golan Heights, not just in the Valley of the Tears where I fought, all over. And every day they can see a live training fire in the Golan Heights, and a big exhibition of the army in the Golan Heights. And when they arrive in the morning, 9 o'clock, and they leave at night, they understood what happened there. And this is, you know, it's work on the motivation to join the army in the day when they need.
Absolutely, it gives you hope too, you know?
Yeah. I give them the flag of the country, and I tell them, hold the flag. If you open your hand, the flag will fall down and we will lose the country. Do you swear now? And they said, yes, this is enough.
Now, you know, this area, the Golan Heights, is very problematic, you know, throughout the world. Many question what the future is of this area within relation to Israel. Is Israel going to have to give up on this area? In your opinion, how do you view the future?
When I was Knesset member in '94, I fought against Mr. Rabin because he was ready to withdraw from Golan Heights. Even I was in the Labour Party, in his party.
Right.
And I've decided to create new party on the Third Way. This is the name. And I was the leader of the Third Way, and I became Minister of Public Security. Anyway, it was that time a big mistake, and now you can see what's going on in Syria. Can you imagine that we stopped near the Jordan River, and those people who are fighting between them, even now they are shooting to our area because they cannot control the fire. I believe that we will stay there forever. We have more than 33 villages, kibbutzim, and 1 town in the Golan Heights. Those people, it's an agriculture area, beautiful area. And I believe even it's by law, it's part of Israel now. And I believe that most of the people now in our country agree with the idea that we are going to stay there forever. And I'm ready to fight for that.
I don't know if we can afford to have you go back into another war at this point, but kol hakavod lecha. You know, everybody here is so excited to have you come into the studios. You're a true hero and representative of Israel, and I hope we'll have you back again soon.
Thank you very much. Thank you.